Part 8. The Grace That Remains When the Heart Logs Out. The Battle for Stillness. There comes a time when the body slows, the mind quiets, and the noise we once chased begins to fade. The screens dim, the meetings end, the applause stops, and we find ourselves alone with our thoughts. That is when the heart asks its most honest question: what truly remains? The world keeps inventing new ways to stay busy, but the soul still longs for stillness. In my younger years, I believed productivity was proof of purpose. Now I see that stillness is where purpose is revealed. Silence is not emptiness. It is space where God finally speaks without competition. Each night, as I set my phone aside and close my eyes, I realize that logging out of the digital world is not a loss. It is a return. It is the soul whispering, "You have done enough for today. Rest now in me." True peace is not the absence of noise. It is the presence of grace. And that grace, quiet, steady, enduring, is what keeps the heart alive long after the world forgets our name. The power of one voice, one pen, one faith. I once thought only big voices could move the world, but through the years, I have learned that one whisper, offered in truth, can reach where thunder cannot. Every word written in faith carries a power beyond its ink. Every small act done in love ripples through time in ways we will never fully see. When I began writing, I was simply trying to make sense of my own life. A life spared, shaped, and guided by grace. But those words became something more. They became bridges, connecting hearts that were searching for meaning, for hope, for God. That is what faith does. It multiplies. It takes one voice, one pen, one prayer, and makes it a light for many. If these pages have reached you, perhaps you were meant to carry that same light forward. You may not write books, but your kindness can become a living gospel. You may not stand on a stage, but your quiet integrity can change a generation. Because grace is not given to be kept, it is given to be shared. The journey back home. When I look back on my life, the accident that almost ended it, the career that shaped it, and the calling that gave it meaning, I see a single thread running through it all. Mercy. Mercy that saved me when I didn't deserve it. Mercy that turned wreckage into witness. Mercy that transformed survival into mission. I used to think life was about climbing higher. Now I know it's about going deeper, into faith, into gratitude, into surrender. Every mountain I climbed, every fall I endured, every page I wrote, all of it was leading me home. Home is no longer a place on earth. It is a state of peace, the quiet knowing that everything has served its purpose, and that God wastes nothing, not even pain. So when my time comes, I will go with joy, not fear. For I have walked far, fallen often, and risen by grace. And I know now, death is not an end. It is simply the final whisper that carries us into the eternal embrace of the one who wrote our story from the start. And so, the journey ends. The journey that began with a crushed car and a 50-50 chance now ends with a full heart and a grateful soul. I should not have lived that night, but I did. And every extra breath since then has been borrowed time, sanctified by purpose. If I could sum up everything this book has tried to say, it would be this: grace writes straight with crooked lines. Even what breaks us becomes the doorway to what saves us. So I end not with a period, but with a prayer. May you too find the whisper that changes everything. May you discover that the very pain that shook your life can become the path that saves your soul. Because grace, once found, never leaves. It remains even in the quiet.